rape charge that had sent him to prison for more than 5 years. A classmate accused Banks of raping her in the stairwell of their Long Beach high school.
My only dream in the world was to just be free.
Hello all, and welcome back to Red Femme Diaries. I'm sure by now all of you have heard that Bill Cosby has been set free. His assault conviction has been overturned, and I have to say I am very happy about that. I just got off the phone with my mother, and she said, "Well, I don't care either way." Well, I absolutely do care. I hate what happened to that man and what happened to his legacy. You know, Bill Cosby's crime was that he was a freak back in the 70s. That pretty much was it. But that is not a crime or a sin that is punishable by jail time. So I personally am very happy that he is out. Now you see a woman on the screen there, and her name is Tarana Burke, and some of you may know and some of you may not that she is the founder of the current day metoo movement. Tarana Burke claimed so many years ago that she was either sexually assaulted or harassed, and that's how this Me Too movement started, because she didn't want, women to feel alone. As far as the research I've seen, I haven't heard or seen any convictions of anyone that did those things to her, but that absolutely is her claim. Okay, so I was really debating and battling on how to explain what I'm trying to say right now. And to be honest with you, I always said that my channel is about truth, so I'm just going to say it straight out. Now, I know we're in 2021 and I'm not supposed to say this, but we are all thinking it, and I'm going to say it. This is an unattractive woman. So what happened with Miss Tarana Burke, I can imagine. Many years of going out with her girlfriends, men not approaching her, not talking to her. That gets very frustrating after a while, because women, we like to be approached. We like our beauty to be admired, but Miss Tarana Burke does not have beauty. She was upset. Men were not approaching her, so she said, Me Too movement. And so here we are in 2021, where women are now going on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, complaining about the fact that men no longer approaching them because of this Me Too movement started by this unattractive woman, Tarana Burke. So you women, being simple-minded as we can be sometimes, fell for this, because this woman was not able to get the attention that she so desired. Now she said, well, that's just fine. So none of you guys are going to get it, and you guys accepted that, and now we're online crying about it. And I know what you're saying, Red Femme Diaries. No, it can't be. That is not true. There is no such thing as a woman that would want to stop the attention that other beautiful women get because she's not a beautiful woman. There's no way it can be. But I'm going to show you a video right now, and God bless this woman's soul, because she's being very transparent. I couldn't believe it, because you will never hear a woman speak this way, but this woman was speaking the truth. And what I want you to focus on a couple of things and a couple of points that she's going to make. It's a very long video. It's over 30 minutes, so I'm going to chop it up a little bit so we don't have to listen to all of it. But she's very honest in the fact that she hates that she does not have pretty privilege. She hates that men don't offer to buy her feed, drinks, and get her flued out. She hates that. She hates it when she walks in the room, people don't look up. She doesn't turn heads. She hates it, and she's angry. And she says that because she doesn't get attention from men because of her beauty, she decided that being loud was the key to get the attention that she desires. This woman is very honest. I can't believe it, and I saw it as a blessing that I just happened to come across this video, because you will never hear a woman admit that. So when you see these loud mouth black women with attitudes and crazy weaves and long nails and lashes, they are desperately seeking attention because they do not like the way that they were created. So I'm going to pause right now and let's take a listen to this young lady and some of the things she says about not having pretty privilege.
The subject that I'm talking about, if you saw the title of this video, is pretty privilege. And for anybody who doesn't know, the concept of pretty privilege is that you basically get treated better in life the more attractive you are. I discovered at a really young age that when I'm at the club, I'm going to be paying for my own drinks. I was not the type of woman that men would fight over, that men would really even approach. So early in my life, I was like 22, 23, and for sure at 25, I decided I wasn't going to go out anymore. So all of my outings, all of my fun, like let's get together, all of those things happened at bars and pubs. A lot of the times places where I knew that nobody who I would be attracted to would be there. And I did that as a defense mechanism, right? I knew if I dress up and I go out to a certain place and I'm ignored, it's going to hurt my feelings. So I didn't want to do that. And yeah, I felt really pretty that night. And I remember walking into the restaurant just feeling like, and my friend even got me like a little crown. And I remember walking into the restaurant and just feeling like, okay, like if anybody is going to notice me, it's going to be tonight wearing this. I walked in and there was a group of guys sitting down at a table. All guys looked like they were single guys. You can never tell, but they were around my age, so mid 30s, early 30s. And I walked in and not a single person turned around to make eye contact with me. Nobody budged. I was looking kind of around the restaurant, like you feel really pretty. So you're kind of looking just to see if anybody's, all eyes on me, that kind of thing. And nobody's eyes were on me. When I saw the video that this kid made, it made me, I swear to God, I had like secondary trauma just from watching it and just thinking back at all the times that I've had terrible times in nightclubs because people are very, very clear with me, you are not special. And then people started adding on to her TikTok trend, right? They started telling their stories, when I go out, I never have to pay for drinks, or guys always buy my drinks and my friends' drinks. So my friends know when they go out with me, they're drinking for free. There were girls who were talking about, when I go out, when I'm on social media, I constantly wake up with money in my Venmo and in my Cashapp because dudes are just sending me money. I really was bothered by that because every guy I've ever met, I always feel like he's the bottom of the barrel when it comes to money. Men aren't like, their red flags aren't up for me. They're not looking for me. I often am invisible, I'm ignored, and I feel like it's a lot of the reason why I have such a small amount of relationship experience at my old age. It's like I'm not there. I'm the invisible woman. And I also think it's why I developed such a loud mouth. I have people all the time tell me, oh my God, you're so loud, you're so animated, I have to be so that I matter. One of the things that women can do when they have pretty privilege is just be there and they matter. They can just be standing there. They can do a little laugh and they're the greatest thing in the world. Whereas me, I got to come with the jokes. I got to come with stories. I got to come with support. I got to do so much more just to matter. Most of the traumatic dating experiences I had in LA were because I was only matching with people who were like pizza delivery drivers. And no shame on those careers, but normally a guy that's in his 30s that's a pizza delivery driver, he is what the internet would call, he is down bad, as the internet would say. And also it's a person that doesn't really have a lot of ambition. I noticed that a lot of men with real ambition, like they wanted to go out and become directors and creators, and they had just like powerful minds and hearts. They're also really chasing after a thing of beauty. And so if you're not that as a woman, I feel like you get men who don't have the ambition. They don't have those minds. They don't have those hearts. They're really just taking whatever. You work in a workplace with men, a co-ed workplace, and you are a woman, you get treated a lot differently if you're considered beautiful. No matter how much I did at the job I used to have, I was never the person that they wanted to run to help. I was never a damsel in distress. The people that helped me were the kids that I worked with. Hey, can we help you? Do you need anything? We see that you're doing this by yourself. Can we help? The guys that I worked with would never come to my rescue. And I pull out the guys because the other people I worked with would be like, oh, I just asked Mr. So-and-so. Oh yeah, he came and helped me. Oh yeah, they were all, but I never got that kind of treatment. And so those types of things hurt. It does hurt. I've been lucky enough to have at least coworker relationships. Now they're always superficial. We're not on the phone talking to each other. We might text memes and stuff once in a while we're at work, especially if they're married, but at least I do know that they have done things for me, like, and I'm really speaking about one person because he's really the the exception to this rule, but offered me a muffin, giving me a space heater. You know, they could tell I was complaining about my heat, so brought a space heater for me to work. You know, there's some men out there who are evolved enough to still be friends and still be kind to women, even though they don't want anything from them. But it is very rare.
Okay. Very interesting and very telling, was it not? You know, it's funny, they did a survey and they looked at the different dating sites, and they found that Black African American women were the least that were swiped. I think it's right on, whatever it is. They were the least desired. Black women, and Asian men were the least desired. But what's the difference between Asian men and Black women is Asian men, you never hear them complaining about the fact that they're considered to be the least desired, the least swiped right on by people. And Asian men go about their business. They're into their STEM, their science, technology, engineering, and math. You know, the Asian community is doing quite well. They're in good control of their women. They don't complain about the fact that they're least desired because they do what they do best. But Black women, we don't like our position. We want to, you know, we say Black girl magic, you know, and we need to be queens and goddesses. We can't be happy. We can't be seen as the most meek women, the most gentle women, the most kind women, the most loving women, the most submissive women. Why can't we be considered that? That's not good enough. We must be considered the most beautiful, even though that's not what people believe. Doesn't matter. I know I'm a Black woman. I have kinky hair and it's natural. I know that God, I am beautifully and wonderfully made. And maybe if all of society doesn't necessarily deem me to be the most beautiful, what do I care? As long as I can have one man that loves me. I personally think that we are beautiful and there's nothing wrong with us. I don't believe in any white standard of beauty, because that would be me saying that I believe that whiteness is a standard of beauty, and I don't believe that. As I'm talking here, you guys see some pictures coming through, and these are beautiful Black women. You know, the lies that are being told nowadays in 2021 that Black women, we are obese, and some people blame the Trump era and our bones are bigger and all sorts of lies. But look at these women from the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. We were petite. We were feminine. We wore our hair, no fake lashes and fake nails, and our Black men had no problem being with us and marrying us. There was no issue. What happened? What happened? Black women were given a choice between being in submission to their man or being in submission to the government. And unfortunately, in our ignorance, we chose the government. We chose the government to be the head of us instead of our own men. We began to believe the idea that somehow white women or whatever were more beautiful than us. And because of this, we have seen the fall of our beautiful community. Look at these images as they scroll past. Beautiful women. This is who we are. This is what we look like. We are not inherently overweight. That is a lie. The standard of beauty, even if it is white, doesn't matter, because we are beautiful on our own. Our men loved us and wanted to be with us. And even if there's a white standard of beauty, the Asian men want to be with their women. The Hispanics want to be with their women because they are still submissive to them. And for decades and hundreds of years since we've been on this in North America, our Black men have loved us and have been with us. But it's the Black woman herself that thinks that she is not a beautiful creation of God, and it is quite sad. But we cannot blame this on the Black men. We must indeed look at ourselves. And you can see that in the words of this young woman, 35, 36. She's given up all hope of ever having a husband or having children because she believes that she is not worthy of that, because she does not like the way her creator made her. I'm not saying that she's necessarily the most beautiful woman, but through all of time, you've had beautiful women that married rich men and princes and kings. You've had average women that married average men, and you had below average women and looks marrying, below average men in their earning abilities. That's just how it goes. Another thing in her video I noticed is she talks about that she goes into dating apps and she's met men that, they like work at the pizza place or pizza delivery guy or whatever. And she doesn't want those men. Well, those men don't want you, honey. Okay? Maybe humble yourself and take on that man. At least he's working, making a living. You put his money with your money. You live below your means, and you can begin the process of building a legacy. No, he didn't get a Holly Berry, and no, you didn't get a rich millionaire, but you got each other, and you can have love and build a family that way. But no, it's not good enough for you. Even this unattractive woman, she can accept a lower earning man, even though he's working a job. Not good enough for her. How sad indeed. When will we begin to love ourselves? Look at these pictures scroll by. Look how beautiful we are and how we can be, but we don't think it ourselves because we are not happy with the way the creature is not happy with the creator. How sad indeed. I was going to end it there, but I just got to add this ending part here. I really do try to make these videos short, but there's just so much to say. I want to talk about this word privilege briefly. And nowadays you hear it brought up so much. You hear about white privilege and now pretty privilege. And I know us women will concoct some other different types of privileges so that we can feel even more disadvantaged. I don't know why we do that. But here's another privilege that you don't really hear them talk about so much. There's a thing, and I'm gonna coin this right now. There's a thing called food privilege. I'm food privileged. When I go to my refrigerator, there's always food there. There's always food in my pantry. But when I just looked recently, I looked up and it said that 9 million people every year, men, women, and children, die of starvation. Why are we talking about that privilege? How about clean water privilege? Right? The vast majority of us that are listening are able to listen to this YouTube video. You guys have internet, so the vast majority of you probably can walk right over to your sink, turn the faucet on, and you're going to have clean flowing water. A lot of the world does not have that, but are we talking about that privilege? Not talking about that privilege. You have American citizenship privilege. I think I've said this in another video where I'm from, in Southern California. Lots of immigrants that come there and risk their lives to be in this country. And here we are as black people. We are citizens that help to build this nation. So we have citizenship privilege over other people. We don't have to go through that. We're automatically here and have all the rights and advantages afforded to us, even though we don't necessarily always take advantage of it. But we don't ever talk about those types of privileges. We want to talk about pretty privilege and white privilege. I'm going to say this, and like I said, I appreciate that young lady for all the different things she said, because I understand, and I'm not going to say that I don't get what she's saying. I absolutely do, but I guess I just look at it a little bit differently. Gentlemen that are listening to me, how many of you, when you pull up to wherever you're going in your Civic or your Toyota, get all heads and eyes turning to you? And ladies, how many of you, whenever you walk into the room, all eyes are on you? That's not typical. The majority of us, men and women alike, white, black, or Asian, Hispanic, we live regular, average, normal lives. And it's really sad what this social media has done. Like this particular woman, she watches this social media, I'm sure, and she sees a fraction of people that get this type of head turning attention and drinks paid for and everything. And she's literally took that and allowed it to affect her own life. She literally said that she kind of stops going out and doing things because she doesn't get that type of head turning attention. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm not going to be dishonest and say that I do not understand pretty privilege. I'm not an unattractive woman, so I do get it, but I'm getting older. And, like any woman, as we get older, our beauty begins to fade. But I'm going to give you ladies a tip. There's something called, inner beauty. And this woman could probably learn from that. inner beauty and a humble spirit. I'm going to tell you guys a story and then I'm going to, finish here. I remember about 10 years ago, I was pregnant with my son. I was at Walmart. And there was this young woman. She had to be in her maybe mid-20s, Hispanic woman. She had some sort of disfigurement. She was completely bent over and her spine was twisted. It looked very painful just to see her, but she was at Walmart. She was working. I'm sure she could have gotten she absolutely qualified for disability, but she was working. She had a smile on her face and a pep in her step, and she seemed like she truly cared about her job. And I'm sure you're not making very much at Walmart. She brought tears to my eyes because although her body was twisted and her face indeed disfigured, her spirit was so beautiful because she was humble, she worked hard, and that beautiful smile. And I'm going to say to you women now, and here's that cheat code to all of you black women who insist that, there's a white standard of beauty and you're not beautiful enough and all these different silly things. And even to you other race women who don't feel that you're as pretty, you know what? Have some inner beauty about yourselves and watch how the world embraces you. Put a smile on your face, have a servant's heart, and a humble spirit. And no matter what your age or what your looks, you will indeed be beautiful, because that, I'm talking about the nature of a woman, the wicked woman, but in the godly woman, it's our spirit that can make us beautiful for all eternity. So I hope you guys hear what I'm saying, and we will see you next time. Thank you for listening to Red Femme Diaries. Bye-bye.